Bill Henshaw here, your constitutional coop from San Francisco. Still out here in Iowa, amazingly enough. It's been 4 months. I can't believe I'm saying that. But things are going okay here, not as quickly as I would like. We'll talk more about that in another video. The subject matter for this one upcoming, though, there's so much going on with transgenders in sports and schools and everything else, is to get the true agenda of that movement out there so you people understand it and know what to do. And just like anything else that deals with civil rights and the non-existent 14th War Amendment, none of it has ever been there. You get my materials, very modestly priced materials, and you learn that the 14th Amendment and civil rights not only do not exist, they never have. Contemporaneously ruled unconstitutional by the U.S. Supreme Court, cases ex parte McCardle, 7 Law 506, and also struck down by the creative, imaginative, stunning veto by President Andrew Johnson, our greatest president and maybe the last one lawfully in office, of the Reconstruction Act of 1867. This is the kind of crap that has to stop. Because even if on the surface a lot of things look good that government does, that's not the case when you consider what you have to do to get there. And transgender stuff is no different because they have to invoke federal, regional, martial law rule. That doesn't work under any circumstances whatsoever, not in the Federated Republican government of defined and limited powers ordained and established by those racist framers of the Constitution. It may work great in today's elected despotism, just like they have in Pyongyang, North Korea. But that's not only what we don't want. We want to get the hell rid of it as quickly as possible and get back to the government we had. No, it wasn't perfect. Only the best one ever invented, and we can make changes from there and do it right. And get all this crap out of school, especially when they're claiming out there with transgenderism that second and third graders apparently are not only competent to decide they're a transgender entity, which I'm not even sure what that is, they apparently can draw the conclusion that God made a mistake when they were born. The way I read the Holy Book, he's not known for doing that very often. And that just starts off a train of thought at a young, early age where you accept all this 14th Amendment crap as a given and the government's there to help you out when it's exactly the opposite. So these changes need to be addressed in that way. And by the way, we haven't got that far yet. And I think most of the programs these days, if they want to create an open division for anybody that wants to join, can do that rather than having all these transgender males in women's sports where they shouldn't be, in women's locker rooms. I mean, what the hell is the problem here? Doesn't work, Leah Thomas, just so you know. Was never designed to work. And the only benefit here is for those behind the scenes in government, otherwise known as the New York banksters. Enough is enough here. Fortunately, we have the current justices on the Supreme Court that know this as well as I do, and they've been sounding more and more like me in the last 4 terms particularly, and they may be prepped to go a lot further when they open up for business again first Monday in October, because I think it's clear to any reasonable observer that there's no way the demo rats can win the next election, particularly with the White House. I mean, who are they going to run? Gavin Newsom? Not going to work. So if that happens, now Alito and Thomas can retire if they so choose, and I think both probably would, and let probably Trump appoint 2 younger conservatives, and now we have control of that court the next 12 or 15 years. Now what are you liberal civil rights advocates going to do? And that happened, they're going to come out even stronger than they have, and they've already sounded exactly like me. That's how good it is. A big case there that you can get by requesting information, a case called AXON, AXON, the Federal Trade Commission, where they sounded exactly like me. And this is where we get them in the end, because we're right, they're wrong, we can prove it, and I can help you force the perps to get the checkbooks out. Because talking about a case like AXON, I can make it clear that the opinion of the court was not written by Elena Kagan, and every justice on the court knows it. That's a deal they struck in concert with some other conditions currently on the court. The real opinion is the concurring opinions, quote unquote, of Justices Thomas and Gorsuch. Read those, and you'll find out what they really said and how far they are really going when you can read a little bit between the lines. And I've gotten pretty good at that. So that's one of the best decisions. In fact, that's in my top 10 all time. They just made that decision this past May, for crying out loud, and that's saying something. But that's how good things are getting on the Supreme Court. They understand it. Sometimes they haven't acted as quickly as I have wanted them to. We'll talk about that in later videos, but they're getting there. And I think we may have a great leap forward come the first Monday in October. So we'll see how that plays out. But now that you understand the basis for transgender rights, and you know there are not any if we make the proper arguments, and there shouldn't be, that's, and I'll talk more about this on another video about what we can do with transgenders and what we can't do. The court, by the way, made the right decision in that Colorado Bakers case. Absolutely dead bang right decision. You can't force somebody to deal with someone they don't want to deal with. We have an unlimited power to contract here. Now, what you transgenders can attempt to do, I'd be surprised if you were successful, but you can attempt to do it, is you can go out there and maybe pick it in front of the stores, or you can talk to people going in as customers and suggest that they might want to not support a business that won't serve transgender interests. Nothing wrong with that. I don't think in most places it's going to succeed, outside of maybe New York City and some other wacky places. But that would be one way to do it, and put them out of business, and that opens up a business spot for somebody to come in that will do what the transgenders want them to do. And at least that's a hell of a lot better than invoking federal, regional, martial law rule. Not only does that not solve everything, it destroys everything. That's the difference between our federated Republican form of government of defined and limited powers and today's elective despotism. And note here, and I'll talk more about this on another video, there haven't been any lawful elections, and I can prove it a cappella, since November the 6th, 1860. You figure it out. That said, to get more information, send me an email. I should have said that earlier, but youwinnincourt@gmail.com, and I'll get you that information on what I do and how I do it. You're going to love it, especially with other new issues I'll be talking about in later videos that'll be in this set. Stay tuned, a lot of good news coming. The Supreme Court has our backs. Remember to subscribe, like the videos, tell your friends, get the word out. Thank you.